Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's so wonderful to have all of you with us tonight. My name is Leah Barrett, and I'm the president of Northeast Community College. And I'm so honored to be with such distinguished guests this evening. I will tell you the food will continue to be out there. So if you need a snack in between our awards program, please help yourself. I want to welcome you to this evening of celebration where we recognize outstanding alums, people that have served the Northeast community, and a couple of our current employees dedicated to lifting up our students and their families to support the vitality of Northeast Nebraska. The honorees tonight exemplify the mission, the vision, and the values of Northeast Community College, and we are so excited that they're joined by their families, their friends, and their colleagues in this wonderful celebration. It's also wonderful to see so many of you here tonight who have had such an important impact on the college over the years. From our current and past members of the Board of Governors and our Foundation Board, to retirees as well as faculty, staff, and students, as well as past recipients of these awards tonight. So we are going to first recognize a few of those people. So I would ask that the members of the Board of Governors please stand and I'll recognize you. It's Dell Ames, Neely, Donovan Ellis of Pierce, Jean Regal of Madison, and Julie Robinson of Norfolk. Please stand. And we do have a couple Foundation Board members with us tonight. Again, Dell Ames from Neely, Dr. Tom Server of Norfolk. Tom, if you'll give us a wave, and Courtney Schmidt of Madison, if you would please give us a wave or stand up. Thank you. And now, I'm not going to be able to do these all by name, but if you are a previous honoree by Northeast Community College, that could be in our Alumni Hall of Success, Distinguished Service, Nebraska Community College Association, Distinguished Alumni, Emeritus, or one of our U.S. Bank Award winners, would you please stand? There's a bunch of you here tonight, so please. We're missing one. He might have stepped out with his child, but thank you all and congratulations and thanks for being here. I also want to recognize the Northeast Community College staff for hosting this event and making all the arrangements. First and foremost, Dr. Tracy Cruzy, our Vice President of Development and External Relations and Executive Director of our foundation, along with her staff members, Holly Quinn, Corey Koopman, Jasmine Gayden, Daisy Mora, David Boshin, Susan Green, Jeree Parks, Natalie Kent, and then Jerry Ginther and Jim Curry. If y'all would give us a wave or stand up, I'd appreciate it. Most of them are hiding in the back. So now we would like to get on with our program. We start this evening by recognizing those individuals that are part of our Alumni Hall of Success. The Alumni Hall of Success Award is presented to former students who have achieved significant success in their profession, exhibited exemplary citizenship qualities, or made significant contributions to their community. As you see from your program, we are awarding 3 individuals this year who have accomplished great things through their careers and throughout their communities. And for each one of them, they will be able to share a few words with us, but I get to start by giving an introduction. And so for our first Alumni Hall of Success member, we are going to recognize Amanda J. Carlo. Amanda Carlo is a community leader who has been deeply involved in the Lakota language revitalization movement for more than a decade. She graduated from Northeast Community College in 2001 with an Associate of Arts degree in Behavioral Science and was a member of our women's basketball team. She earned her Bachelor of Science in Criminal Justice and Corrections from the University of Texas Pan America, now called the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley, in 2004, and her master's degree in school counseling from Creighton University in 2012. She is currently working on her doctorate in philosophy in Hawaiian and Indigenous language and culture revitalization from the University of Hawaii Hilo. Amanda has had an incredible professional career in education, working at Ogallala Lakota College, Little Wound High School, and Red Cloud Indian School, where she first became a guidance counselor, and she also served as the girls' varsity basketball coach. Amanda became the school counselor at Pine Ridge Elementary in 2016. And in 2021, Amanda returned to the Red Cloud Indian School as the Director of Adult Lakota Language Instruction. In this role, Amanda's responsibilities include teaching language classes to adult apprentices, community members, and staff. She is currently an adjunct faculty member for South Dakota State University and teaches students the Lakota language through a dual credit program. Amanda serves on the board of directors of a nonprofit organization called One Spirit. She helps run an AAU basketball program, helps coach high school cross country, girls basketball, and track. And she also is something pretty unique. She's a school bus driver, and she has been since 2009. And in her words, which we really do want to quote, safely transporting the sacred children that will be the great leaders of tomorrow, driving teams to games, competitions, field trips, and many more. Amanda's family includes 3 children. Ryan, 21, who is currently playing college basketball and will graduate with his AA this academic year. Ashlyn is 15, who is in her sophomore year of high school and is a 3-sport South Dakota All-Stater and state champion in the 300-meter hurdles. And her 6-year-old daughter, Camilla, who is a first grader and entertaining her family right now, continuing her Lakota language immersion education, and is also involved in gymnastics. Amanda just welcomed her first grandson, Damon Carlo, in late September. Amanda said her time at Northeast helped prepare her for the next step in life. We're so honored to have her here with us tonight, so help me in congratulating Amanda for her induction into the Northeast Community College Alumni Hall of Success Class of 2023.
Hamadakepi, Dona Yahipi, Ki Iuha Chante Washte Nape Chusa Picture. La Komi Chajeki, Wichakpi Wankatiawi, Emachia Pixto, Naha Washichiapi, Amanda Carlo Emachiapi. Wazia Haha Emataha, Naleha, Wiohiam Bata Mininatakapi Alwati. Inawayeki, Marilyn Schumacher Echiapi Na. Atewayeki Mike Carlos Sr. Echiapi. Ina Echiataha Unchiwayeki Arvilla Fisher Echiapi na Kakawayeki Edmund Schumacher Echiap. Na Ate Echiataha Unchiwayeki Arta Irving Echiapi na Kakawayeki Robert Carlo Echiap. Chinchapi Yamni Mayukhe Cha Chinkshi Ryan Echiapi na Chungshi Ashlyn na Camila Ewichakiapi Naha Thakoja Damon Echiapi. Lako Iapi Imacha Cheshni Na Dueni Oyazan Wayawa Chishni Daku Ipayach Etre Hantash Imichiktu Jape. Ehani Northeast Community College Awa Blawa Cha Oio Kipi Bluha. Wichotapi Atawi Chawaye Naha Naku Ohinya Kabwashkate Yuka Oyanke Yutokecha Unkomanipi. Northeast Ekta Mashkek Un Hechnal Slowi Chawaye Yuka Nawana Tiwahe. Tabshkatapi Wa Unspe Wichawakye Coach Savela, Coach Anderson, Carol, Keith, Wes, Nahatua Wexuyeshnicha, Iuha Wopila Echicha Piksto, Ohinyashna, Mayu Blehichiapi. Tabshkatapi Ob Unshkatapi Cha, Mary, Shally, Rudy, Bridget, Mal, Naha Iuha, Yuka Unkicha Hapi, Na Lechia Liglila Cha, O Iokipi Unyuhapi. Doha imacha checha, wimacho e oki ichiapis e. Wimacho e na ina na ate te chichila piksto. Akichiapi chanashna ohiwaye wachish eash, iuha a ikba juju mayakia pishni. Ohiniashna ohitiashka mash ipi. Dokel wachi wicha wachi kte ehantahash omakia pikte. Stevie, Ali, Shrisa, na Michael, iuha lila imata. Na woyu oniha kile lila iblushki cha. Wazia ha oyanke emataha na ha naku daku e chumpi ya chimpi ki yukha tuktel etoha ito kashni. Nihichia pishnie. Slokia naha ohitia shkampe. Tiwa wichawa yeki woyu onihanki le unyu hapi. Wopila chichia piksto hechetu mitapie oyase.
Thank you, Amanda, so much, and for honoring the Lakota people by using the Lakota language that you've embraced and helped others to learn and keep alive in the United States. Our next two recipients are responsible for the safety and well-being of more than 25,000 residents of the city of Norfolk. And we are so proud that both of them are graduates of Northeast Community College. And so that is Chief Donald Miller and Chief Tim Rage. Broggy, sorry, Tim. All right, so first to the stage, we are going to have Chief Donald S. Miller. Don Miller grew up in New Ulm, Minnesota, graduated from high school in 1985. 10 years later, he earned an Associate of Arts degree in Criminal Justice Law Enforcement from Northeast Community College and went on to rise through the ranks of the Norfolk Police Division to the position he holds today, Chief of Police. Don was first hired as a patrol officer for the city of Norfolk in 1990. From 1994 to 96, he worked as a detective until he was promoted to corporal. In 1999, he was promoted to the rank of patrol sergeant. Don supervised patrol shifts as a sergeant until 2013, when he was promoted to operations captain, where his responsibilities included the overall management function of all sworn officers. In addition to his regular duties, Don spent 4 years on the division's accident investigation team, specializing in major accident investigations. He was one of the original members of the tactical response team, serving as the assistant commander from 95 to 97 and commander from 1997 to 2009. Don is a graduate of the Northwestern University School of Police Staff and Command. In 2019, Don was named Norfolk Chief of Police. With the help of 2 captains, he oversees a total of 41 certified police officers and 21 civilian support staff. Northeast instructors had a lasting impact on Don as he talked about them when he was interviewed for this award. Don was the first from his family to attend college, and he viewed the opportunity as an honor. He encourages young people today to recognize that obtaining an advanced education is not something to be taken for granted. Your education will always be with you down the road, and you will get out of it what you put in it. Don's family includes his wife, Teresa, a son, Dylan, who's employed in Norfolk, and engaged to Haley Zimmer, thank you, and a daughter, Nikki, who is currently a sophomore in the nursing program at Northeast. The Millers also have 2 grandchildren, Oakley and Dakota. We are so pleased that Don could be with us tonight. We learned earlier today that he's been in Kearney for the day at a conference and will be returning to Kearney either later this evening or tomorrow morning to finish up that conference. So we are so excited to have Don here with us tonight, and we are excited to congratulate him on his induction into the class of 2023 Alumni Hall of Success.
Well, thank you everybody for being here. Congratulations, Amanda. I can't keep up with that, so this isn't going to be nearly as impressive as that. You know, when we were doing this process, they asked me if I would be providing some prepared statements, and I declined because if I try to read the statements, I'm going to stumble and I would end up looking worse than what I am here. Anyway, so I'm going to just talk from the heart. And Northeast Community College, as I said, I was the first one in my family. I'm still the first one in my family to attend college. And it was an honor to be able to do that. It wasn't an easy thing at the time. And I was a non-traditional student when non-traditional was relatively new. And when I went through the process, I started off at UNO. I did some generals at UNO, and then I came into Northeast when I got the job in Norfolk, and I finished up at Northeast for my associate's degree in criminal justice. And then during that time, it's amazing the transition that happened to me. I never looked forward to education prior to Northeast. I had some great instructors, and the two that stand out in my mind are my history teacher and my public speaking teacher. I was never much for history until I went to this history class. It was a prerequisite. And at the beginning of it, I wish I could remember the teacher's name, but I don't. I met with him and says, you know, I'm really not interested in history. I'm doing this because it's a prerequisite, but I'll give it my best. And he said, I appreciate that. And during that entire class, that semester, he was speaking to me, and he completely changed my views on history and my thoughts on history. They say, you know, if we don't know our history, we're going to repeat it, and I believe that. So they changed my whole trajectory on history. And then the other one is the public speaking instructor. Again, it was a prerequisite for the CJ class. And I'm up here speaking, and there was a time when you couldn't drag me onto the stage. You know, it's still nerve-wracking. Anybody that does it knows that it's not the most comfortable thing in the world, but I credit the college and the college instructors for getting me through those initial stages. And then Northeast prepared me for a lifelong of learning. In law enforcement, it's not like you learn the task and then you're done. We train every month. We're learning every month. I'm in a conference this week learning more. And Northeast is what gave me that love of education to continue growing and learning every day for the rest of your life. Now, my successes in law enforcement, I don't take the credit for that. I've had some recognitions over the years. None of them hold up to this one. I've had recognition for some incidences, but this is one that I'll cherish and I'll remember because it's a huge honor to be recognized with all of the people that come through this schooling system. And it's with the love and support of my family and friends that get me pushing every day, and my passion for the safety of the community and the citizens and working for the victims that sometimes get forgotten. And that's one of my things as a police chief, is that we're pushing to make sure we take care of those victims because somebody has to look out for those. And that's what got me into law enforcement, is the interest in seeing the ability to help people that need the help. And that's what keeps me going to work every day. I'm in my 34th year, and I'll keep on going for quite a while yet, because Norfolk's a great community. Northeast gave me that grounding. Lucky to work with great people. Chief Raggi and I have worked together for years. It's an honor to be up here and share the stage with him, as well as Amanda. So thank you for coming out. I appreciate everybody showing your support. Thank you for those that nominated us, because this is truly an honor. Thank you.
So Chief Miller reminds us, sometimes we get up here and get a little nervous and we mispronounce our chief of the fire department's name. So Tim, I am very, very sorry. But we are so excited to honor you as well. So our third honored alumni is the Norfolk Fire Chief, Timothy Michael Raggi. He became the 23rd Fire Chief for the city of Norfolk in 2021. Tim grew up in Plainview and said he had wanted to be a firefighter all his life. He attended Southeast Community College's Fire Science program after graduating from high school and started his career with the Norfolk Fire Division in December 2002. Tim came to Northeast in 2010 to earn his Associate of Applied Science in EMT Paramedic. Tim remembers his paramedic class at Northeast as a small group with students from all different walks of life, and he was so pleased with how quickly they built relationships based on their similar goals. He remembers all of his classmates and loves when their paths cross. Tim says he's humbled and honored to even be considered for our Alumni Hall of Success. He does give credit to his family, his faith, and his colleagues for him being here tonight. In addition to being a firefighter and a paramedic, Tim also served as fire inspector and lieutenant before being promoted to the assistant fire chief in 2015. He's a member of the Battle Creek Fire and Rescue, member of the Norfolk Fire Division Peer Support Team and Honor Guard Team, and a member of the Nebraska Serious Injury and Line of Duty Death Team. He served on the school board and as a trustee at St. John Ministries in Battle Creek. He's a member of the Northeast Community College Paramedic Advisory Board and the Nebraska State Fire Marshal Office Certification Advisory Committee. Tim's family includes his wife Erin and his children MJ and Britley. Please join me in congratulating Norfolk Fire Chief Tim, I pause every time, Chief Tim Rogge for his introduction into the Northeast Community College Hall of Success.
Good evening, everyone. First off, I'd like to start by thanking Northeast and congratulating those that have won these awards in the past and those that will in the future. I've known Chief Miller for a long time, and honestly, after reading Amanda's story, I'm not sure what I'm doing up here in this group of three, because it's some two pretty amazing people with great stories and doing a lot for a lot of people. So I'm humbled to even be up here, as they had mentioned in my comments. Growing up in a small town, I was surrounded by people who cared for one another and helped in need with no questions asked and no expectations of a return favor. My family exemplified that from my grandparents to my parents. Observing that behavior often and seeing their actions drew me to a profession where I could get to help people every day. A profession where you go to work and no shift is ever the same. In August 2001, following high school, I began classes at Southeast Community College in Lincoln for fire protection and technology. I figured when I was going there, I was going to learn how to fight fire, and that was basically it. I was pretty excited for that as a 20-year-old at that time, 19, 20-year-old. Little did I know that at least 85% of the calls I'd be going on in this career had absolutely nothing to do with fighting fire. I was hired in December of 2002 at Norfolk Fire and Rescue, and soon realized that becoming a paramedic was a must. And that's where Northeast Community College came into play for me. I had an amazing experience taking classes on campus and then doing my field time at Faith Regional ER and Norfolk Fire and Rescue. I had phenomenal instructors and a solid team behind me at Norfolk Fire to help get me through my training and put my skills to work on the streets. The first 13 years of my career I spent on shift, working 24, 48-hour shifts. Following that, I had the opportunity to serve as assistant chief and now fire chief, wrapping up my 21st year with Norfolk Fire. I remember very well the day I interviewed and told then fire chief Shane Widener that I wanted to sit in the seat that he was someday. I wildly underestimated what that was going to mean as far as the role, and am learning that every day at a time. That challenge falls on me personally, learning the position and understanding better what is expected of me so that I can best serve this department in our city. The good thing for me is I inherited an amazing group of people that could honestly run that place without me. So many amazing men and women that have unmatched skills that I have often said I'd put up against anybody, anywhere, any day of the week. Having been able to watch Chiefs Shane Widener and Scott Cordes lead the division at a very high level for so many years also benefited me greatly. They both, along with former Assistant Chief Jim Dooley, longtime Medical Director Dr. Serber, and many other retirees, are people that I continually work with and ask questions and lean on. They help maintain and further expand sound culture that spans decades with many generations of firefighters dating back to 1884. Being around these people, both active and retired, gives me the same feeling I had growing up. They do anything to help somebody in a time of need without a blink of an eye and would never, ever, ever ask for anything in return. They're just great human beings. Now for my family. These are always the tricky parts. If not for my family and renewed faith, I would not be here. My wife, Erin, and 2 kids have been through heck and back with me. I had a different word in there, but I figured heck would be a little more appropriate. With me over the last 20 years and never left my side. This job, and I know Chief Miller would agree, this job and the things you see make you question your calling at times, and honestly make you question your faith. It took me too long to figure out the right way to address things and how much I needed to lean on my family, close friends, and faith. I know now who I am more than ever. I know that I've made mistakes and haven't done everything perfectly. I know that people are not always going to agree with me, but as long as I believe in myself and what I stand for, the rest will all fall into place. Being in any profession does not give you a layer of body armor and mean you will never be affected by things. I might not have understood that the first several years of my career, but I sure do now. I do not know what the future holds for me, but I know that I'll do my best for NFD as long as they'll have me. When it's time for me to step aside and let the next generation take things to the next level, I will do exactly that. If you're here tonight and are currently a student or just getting into your field of study, please pay attention to the peer support and mental aspect of your chosen career. If you figure that component out early in any profession, life's going to be better for you. If you serve in a certain role and manage people or work with others on a regular basis, then you too need to look at this component of the job. In the fire service, many times, old school still works and is proven with a hint of new school added along the way. I'm oftentimes considered by some of those folks back there as old school because I still wore my belt on my hip, or my cell phone on my hip and a belt clip, which turns out it's not in style anymore, but I'm okay with that. One thing I can assure you, though, is the old school approach doesn't work on mental health. Invest in your team, and they will invest in you. In closing, I'd like to thank our staff for attending, and thank you to my family for being here. Thank you to Northeast Community College. I'm living my dream right now. I have an amazing wife, 2 wonderful children, a pretty cool dog named Charlie, and all the support I could ask for with those bumps in the road that come along the way. God bless each of you, and have a great evening.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. These are truly just amazing individuals, and we're more than honored to recognize them here tonight. And we're so happy that your families are with you and we're able to celebrate with you. So let's give them one more round of applause. The Northeast Community College Distinguished Service Award is presented to individuals who have demonstrated active service to higher education and who have played a significant role in the development of Northeast Community College. We'll be inducting one individual this year for her service to the college, Marlene E. Johnson. Marlene was the mayor of West Point for 20 years, from 1998 to 2018, the longest serving mayor in the community's history and the first woman to serve. In that capacity, she was an active member of the League of Nebraska Municipalities, serving on the executive board and the League's Smaller Cities Legislative Committee. And in 2013, she was elected the League president. When Northeast began looking for a permanent location to expand college classes in the West Point area, Marlene was mayor. The Nielsen Community Center was in the planning stage, and Marlene and other West Point officials and staff approached the Community Foundation to help to bring the college into the Donald E. Nielsen Career and Technical Training Facility, just north of the Nielsen Community Center, which officially opened in April 2018. A very proud accomplishment for Marlene, who believes so strongly that high school students need to take advantage of college classes to help their transition to college. And today, I was just speaking to Marlene, we have more than 150 high school students that attend classes from Northeast and Wayne State in that facility every single day. Marlene married her high school sweetheart, Alan, and they own and operated the Sandman Motel in West Point. Later, the Johnsons owned and operated a grain handling equipment business, and Marlene was office manager. Marlene has always been an active part of our community, singing in the choir, teaching Sunday school and youth confirmation classes, involved in the JCs and the West Point Women's Club. She also attends game day at the West Point Library, where she enjoys playing various card games, dominoes, and mahjong with the adults and the children who attend. Marlene's family includes 2 sons, Alan and Brian, and their families 4 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren. Please join me in congratulating Marlene Johnson as we present her with the 2023 Northeast Community College Distinguished Service Award.
I'm in awe. I'm just so in awe of this. I so appreciate this honor. This is fantastic. I didn't really realize that I had done anything that fantastic. It's just what a mayor usually tries to do for the community that they're responsible for. So I want to share this honor with the community of West Point and everyone beyond the city limits of West Point for the monetary support we received from a lot of people, and to make this connection with Northeast Community College and have it become the success story that it has become. During the years when my sons were in school, I enrolled in several classes that Northeast offered in West Point, and each time the class was in a different location. At that time, I thought it would be great if they could find a location where all of this could occur in one building. So after I was elected mayor, Northeast came to the city, Administrator Tom Gillette and myself, and asked if we could help find them a central location in West Point for an expansion that they wanted to do. So we started looking around, and we couldn't find anything that was available that would serve the situation very well. Either the building was way too big and too large, more from what they needed, or it was too small. There didn't seem to be anything just right. So at that particular time, as they said, the Nielsen Community Center was in the planning stages, and it was ready to start being built. And so Tom and I decided that we were going to approach them to see if there was a way that we could tie this all together. And so we contacted the committee, and they said, well, I suppose we could probably figure out something. And they came back to us a little bit later and said, well, we'll just move the building south. And so here's this 40,000 square foot building that they just took from this blueprint and moved it over to this blueprint. And it gave us the room to add the first phase of the Northeast Community College. So when Northeast came along and asked us again several years later if we could come up with more space, because the first classrooms were being well used and they wanted more classes for more additional students and different courses. And so very fortunate for us, the lot across the street north of the community center was vacant at that point in time. And so we got together with the people that owned that plot of ground, and after quite a bit of hassling, discussions, and so forth and so on, it took us several months to get this done because they thought the ground had gold in it, and we just decided that we needed to put a building on it. So eventually we did come to an agreement, and we purchased that property. And the second building that Northeast built came to fruition and was constructed there. And so that is well in use now, used for many, many classrooms. And it's just been a fantastic coordination and compromise of different things, but yet working together to make something really happen. It's been fantastic for our high school students. They can take as many classes as they want to. There are several that I've just talked to recently that have actually finished their first year of college at Northeast Community College in West Point. And that, for them, is very good for financial reasons, for the fact that, so many students get lost in the first year of college because there's so much going on. They're away from home totally for the first time. Mom and dad aren't there to just kind of, ring in their ear all the time about what they're doing wrong. And so they're down there and they get lost and don't really make it through the first year very well. And so this has allowed them to do this during their school year, so they don't have to go after classes. They do it during their school classes. And I drive past there quite often, and we now have school buses bringing children and students from surrounding schools, and they're taking part in these classes at Northeast. So it has been just a really great benefit for us in West Point, and also for all of the, excuse me, for all of the schools surrounding, that they can take part in this and save their parents a lot of money with first-year tuition and that type of thing, and just give them a great start on their way to their college degree. So it has been a fantastic situation. I did not attend college. It just didn't work out for me when I was growing up. Grants and loans and things like that weren't available, and my parents could not afford to send me through school. So the other problem was I wanted to be in finances. I'm a numbers person, I always have been, and I wanted to be in the financial field. And so I couldn't go to college for that, and so I got a job with Hormel's in Fremont and worked in their financial department for a year, until I decided that it was, my husband and I decided that it was time we got married, and we moved back to West Point and started the business there, and I then took over the financial part of that. And so it was a great thing, and it worked out well. I have, as she said, I have 12 great-grandchildren now, so get to see them and watch them grow up and mature. My dad was actually a very important part of my life as I was growing up. And he was my teacher all 8 years of elementary school, which was sometimes very trying, because the kids most of the time thought I was the teacher's pet and that my dad did my homework for me. Obviously, that was not the case. When he walked in the door after the end of the school day, he never helped me with my classes. I had to get it all on my own, which is probably good and gave me a way to move forward and know that I had to take care of myself and do the things that I needed to do. But you know, he really had a soft heart too, because he was a parochial school teacher, and parochial school teachers generally live close to where the school is, which we did. And he was, as I said, my teacher for all 8 years. But when I was in the 3rd grade, I kept complaining that I always had to walk to school, and all the other kids were riding horses, bicycles, their parents were bringing them to school. I always had to walk, and I thought I was being very deprived. And so one morning, as I was getting ready to go to school, all of a sudden my dad appeared in the room, and I thought, well, that's strange, because he was always gone an hour ahead of time. And he said, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Well, yes, I'm ready to go to school." He says, "Well, come on, let's go." He opened the door, and our car was sitting in the driveway, and he says, "Get in, we're going to school." He drove me the 1 block to school. That was the first and last time, because I was born in Indiana. We lived in Hamilton, Ohio. We lived in Arlington and Lexington, Nebraska before we finally ended up in West Point, where I finished school. And so then when we got to West Point, the elementary school that I finished in was a half a block away. High school was 2 blocks away. I never got another ride to school through all of that period of time. So anyway, but education was important, and I learned a lot from my dad, and I guess that's why education has always been very important to me, and I love to see young people moving ahead, and I have been so pleased with the relationship with Northeast Community College and what it has done for our community and for the surrounding communities, and it's just been a great combination that we've worked together. So I want to say thank you to them for being very easy to work with and to make this happen, and thanks to everyone else that has helped me to do what I did when I was mayor and make that a success also. So thank you, and I want to thank you for this award. It is just an honor and a privilege, and I will just treasure it. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So for our next award, we bring it back to the Nebraska Community College Association, who honors 5 distinguished alumni from each of the 5 Nebraska community colleges that are part of the association. So the award is presented to 1 distinguished graduate of each college. I just said that, sorry about that. Recipients have previously been awarded the Northeast Alumni Hall of Success Award. Tonight, we are here to recognize Brian Dale Rensler, a lifelong farmer and rancher, a 1995 graduate earning his Associate of Applied Science degree in agriculture with emphasis in the Farm and Ranch Management program. When Brian was a senior in high school, he visited Northeast on a campus tour, and his tour guide led a great tour which made a meaningful impression. So most often our tours are given by students, but this one was given by the Dean of our Agriculture program, Chuck Pullman. Brian gives credit to his degree in Farm and Ranch Management to prepare him to tackle the challenges in today's production agriculture environment. In addition to operating a diversified grain and livestock operation, Brian is an engaged community leader. He's a member of the Tri-County Bank Board, where he represents the ag community. He's the first vice president of the West Holt Memorial Hospital Board and president of the Weller Foundation, which has awarded hundreds of scholarships to students from Holt County and surrounding counties. Many of these students come to Northeast Community College. In 2013, Brian was named to the Northeast Community College Hall of Success. Brian's family includes his wife Amy and 6-year-old Samuel. The families are members of St. Joseph's Catholic Church in Atkinson. Please join me in welcome Brian Dale Rensler to the stage.
Thank you very much. First, I want to congratulate the 3 members inducted into Northeast Community College Hall of Success. Thank you for your compassion, dedication, and positive impact on your communities. Secondly, I would like to expand on my experience as a student at Northeast Community College and the impact that it had on my career path. The Northeast Community College campus was familiar to me. I had gone there as a West Holt FFA member to compete in the ag competition held there annually. I knew early that I wanted to work in a farming and ranching career. As my high school senior year came to a close, my college of choice had been decided. I was going to enroll at Northeast Community College in the ag program with an emphasis in farm and ranch management. I had received the Board of Governors Scholarship and a Weller Foundation grant to help finance college. Both of them were greatly appreciated. So it's kind of gone full circle for me. I received a grant as a student, and now I lead the organization that gives grants to students currently. As a student, I lived on campus. I walked to class each day looking forward to learning not just about my field of study, but learning with others like-minded students who came from similar backgrounds. We learned about grain marketing with Neil Pullman, animal science with Dr. Michael Cooper, soil management with Don Benjamin, record keeping and computers in Chuck Pullman's class, just to name a few. The knowledge that I gained from these instructors and more was so valuable. It was a life-changing experience that put me on a path to success. At Northeast Community College, building friendships are also part of the college experience. I met Steve Wendt there. He was enrolled in the Farm and Ranch Management program as well. The first thing that we had in common was we both came from farms with international farm equipment. Most of our classmates had John Deere farm equipment. You can almost, to this day, hear the arguments in the halls of the ag building between which brand of equipment is better. Today, Steve and I talk on a weekly basis and sometimes attend events together. We each have Case IH brand equipment on our farms, except for the baler. It's a John Deere. Steve is married to Jess, and they have a son named Cody. They farm and ranch in Lee, Nebraska. Steve is a lifelong friend, and I look forward to our conversations all the time. I was enrolled at Northeast Community College from the fall of 1993 to the spring of 1995. At that time, the farm economy was pulling itself out of the 1980s farm crisis, and many of my instructors talked to us about the benefits of working away from the farm and ranch for a period of time before returning home to the farm or ranch. Many of my classmates did this, and for good reason. I chose another path. I chose farm ownership. In the fall of 1995, I signed a purchase agreement to buy 690 acres of pasture land from a neighbor. 7 years later, I added another 680 acres to our farm. I purchased more in 2008 and continued to purchase when it made financial sense. Currently, Amy and I own 3,080 acres and rent 80 acres from my parents. We grow corn, soybeans, and alfalfa on 2,000 pivot irrigated acres. We put up grass and alfalfa hay on 240 dryland acres. On the balance of the acres, we rotationally graze 170 cows. We have two valuable employees, Brad Jansing and Michael Welsh. They do a great job of helping us get our work done in a timely manner. In closing, I want to thank Amy for being my wife and business partner. I want to thank Mom and Dad for supporting me in my career choice and for being great role models. They celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary last month. Thank you to Northeast Community College for a great college experience and for selecting me to be the Alumni of the Year. It is a great honor. I want to thank God for all his blessings. Without him, none of this would be possible. Lastly, I want to leave you with a quote from Robert Frost. I came upon a path that diverged in the woods, and I chose the path less traveled by, and it has made all the difference. Thank you.
So we have 3 additional people that we're going to recognize this evening. Again, this goes back to the work of the Nebraska Community College Association, who recognized individuals based on a list of criteria that demonstrates their work in the betterment of the state's community colleges. 1 staff member, 1 faculty member, and 1 member of our Board of Governors. So first tonight, we want to recognize our staff member, Shelley Lammers. Shelley Lammers always thinks about students first. Anytime an idea is proposed or a problem is brought to the table, she is the first one to ask, how is this going to impact our students? Shelley has demonstrated outstanding leadership and perseverance, leading the strengthening student advising team through the multiple elements of a 5-year advising refresh and has kept this team on track in accomplishing their goals. She has also been involved in revamping the academic standard structure at Northeast with the focus on student success. In 2021, Shelley was instrumental in creating our Becoming a Hawk initiative to support students transitioning college. Shelley is a fabulous colleague and a team player. She has an open mind and just always focuses on making things better. She is simply a joy to work with. Please welcome to the stage Shelley Lammers. So these are sort of surprises, so they aren't expected to give a speech. So this one was really a surprise. Lisa Genther is one of a kind. She always has the best interests of students in mind and shows her care and concern in everything she does. Her background in education has taught her that students learn in different ways, so she structures her classes to meet all learning styles. Lisa was one of the first instructors who volunteered to schedule classes for the early childhood education program for the college's Fridays at Northeast dual enrollment program for high school students, many of whom attend Northeast following their high school graduation to complete the remainder of their program. In addition to serving students, Lisa is always one of the first to volunteer to share her knowledge and experience with other instructors by leading or co-leading professional development sessions for faculty or by meeting with them one-on-one. Lisa is engaged in the communities of Northeast Nebraska, presenting sessions and engaging in discussions about improving and increasing access to early childhood education. Lisa cares deeply about student learning and is always on the lookout for opportunities to enhance learning outside the classroom. She is described as an incredible colleague and brings a level of enthusiasm to any group she participates, from starting a little library on Northeast Norfolk campus to attending 6 commencement ceremonies over 2 days in the spring of 2021. Please welcome to the stage Lisa Genther. Yes, you do. Jeez. And finally, we get to recognize one of our Board of Governors. Julie Robinson believes in the power of education. She served on the Northeast Community College Board of Governors since 2013 and has served as the chair since 2022. In the 10 years she's been a member of the Board of Governors, that belief in the power of education has served Northeast well. This includes her work during a time of presidential transition that allowed the board to serve with greater efficiency. Julie has worked closely with her colleagues over the past 3 years implementing a new governance process for the board. This process has provided for increased interactions with the people we serve in our 20-county service area and has allowed the board to understand better their role and excel in their work. In the past year, Julie has been a critical voice for the community colleges in the state of Nebraska. She testified in front of the Revenue Committee, kept in touch with elected officials, and helped articulate the role and contributions of the community colleges as discussions ensued about community college funding. She kept her fellow board members informed and was critical to supporting me as we maneuvered the legislative process. I am so appreciative of her leadership and her perspectives. Julie is more than an advocate for the work of Nebraska's community colleges. She has been actively engaged in efforts to support access to public education for several years, chief of which was the organization of a program that has ensured that school children in the community of Norfolk have enough to eat when school is not in session. As coordinator of Blessings in a Backpack, she helped to create and oversee a program that provides a weekly bag full of food to children from preschool to 4th grade. Moreover, she served as vice president of the Norfolk Public Schools Foundation, where she worked closely with the executive director on all facets of the foundation. She has also served as a member of the Norfolk Community Foundation, which develops community grant strategies. I'm honored to welcome to the stage an advocate, a leader, and a friend, Julie Robinson, who, as she is coming to the stage, it's also a very special day for her. So please join me in singing happy birthday to our final honoree of the evening. Happy birthday. So this does conclude our evening, and I want to thank you for being part of the 2023 Northeast Community College Achievement Awards program. We'd like to one more time extend our congratulations to another stellar group of individuals serving Northeast Community College and Northeast Nebraska. There are giving cards available on each one of your tables, so if you are so inclined, you can make a contribution to Northeast to honor those we've recognized tonight. And one more round, we're going to do one more for Amanda, Dawn, Tim, Brian, Lisa, Shelley, and Julie. Congratulations. Before our honorees leave tonight, we do want to get some additional photos. So if you all will remain with your families, we'll be happy to take photos of you here, over here to my right, your left. Thank you for joining us tonight. Eat some more food and have a fantastic evening.